Shai, Bahashim Kakwadash. This is the brother Taziar Gabar from Prophets in Babylon, Waco, Texas. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. That's preaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. This is 2nd Esdras and 16. Starting at 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. The plagues that the Lord is about to send off on the world, mainly here in Babylon the Great, which we know today as America, The Lord is finna send forth his judgments upon the face of this earth. And the time that you spent in this grace period, utilizing this grace period, is what's gonna determine your salvation. For you brothers and sisters in this truth, if you took this grace period as a time to get right and get closer to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and do what you're supposed to do, the Lord will come through. But if you took it for granted, you wasn't studying, wasn't on top of your videos, or you completely fell out the truth and went cold into the world, then you're going to get caught up in the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The plagues that's going to be sent upon this earth is going to be a time like never before. It's going to be a serious time, worse than when we was in slavery, all right? Which we still are, but our physical cotton picking days in slavery and the transatlantic slave trade is going to be worse than all that. We talking famine, we talking pestilence, race wars, lockdowns, curfews, losing jobs, looting. All right. Verse 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son. So as a woman that's giving birth, as she be in a lot of pain from contractions, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So those 2 to 3 hours when the child is coming through, those pains it hurts a lot. As you see in the movies, or you brothers that got families that witness a birth, you know how it is. The woman be in pain, she'd be screaming, all that. Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. So compared to a woman that's having contractions, that's how the plagues is going to be, the judgment of the Lord that's going to come upon the earth. It's not going to slack. One after the other, after the other, after the other. Like a domino effect. You hit one domino, all them dominoes falling. All right. And the plagues, we're talking about very, very serious death. Death is going to be a normal thing. Death, ravishing, spoiling. All right. And the world shall mourn the world is going to be in a great state of fear, of mourning, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So great sorrows, long, sad faces. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make ye ready to thy battle. All right, so spiritually, we've been prepared for this time, for this very serious time that's going to come upon this place through the trials and tribulations, the rejection, everything we go through in our day-to-day walk is preparing us for that moment. And us knowing the end game of everything, we know that we have to go through this to get what we inherit, which is the kingdom. All right, so that's preparing us. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So, brothers, we come into the time we're going to have to lose and forsake all this stuff we have, our worldly possessions, whether it be your car, your house, your job, your clothes, family. You might not have all that. However, the Lord have your walk play out in Jacob's trouble, which we are going to have to give up stuff. Your woman might leave you. Your mother, your father, mother, give you up to the feds or whatever. Turn on you. All right. However, the Lord has it set up. We have to, prepare for that, because it's going to happen. Which your situation might be different from another's, or you might go through the same thing. But best believe every brother's going to get tried, man. And we're going to be as pilgrims upon this earth. We ain't going to be walking around damn phones and Apple Watches and phones, Apple Watch, or whatever. Houses, all that stuff is going to be for spoil. So brothers going to be on the move. We're going to be as pilgrims upon the earth. And a pilgrim don't have a stationary house. He's this place to this place to this place. All right, Lord might have you dwell in a little abandoned house, or a house that's still somewhat decent. Still got some type of goods in it. Lord might bless you with that to stay there for about 2-3 days. And then that area gets hot. Martial law troops start, coming along, or some type of wild beast, and then it's time to leave. Because these houses are going to be left empty. Because a lot of these people are going to get thrown in FEMA concentration camps, Brothers going to be looking over their heads. Bounties on our heads, because the prophets are going to be wanted. All eyes and fingers going to be pointed at us. And that's that persecution. So, people we're going to be wanted, man, for this truth. For Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So, brothers going to be on the move. And this is what we signed up for. We just got to endure it and bear it. Go down to 46. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods. Why? Because it's going to be a famine. It's going to be a lack of food. So these people are going to be like, damn, if we can't go to the store, shoot, I'm finna go into your house and steal your stuff. Your neighbor's going to be watching. Overthrow their houses. Jake be bragging about these big old houses that they bought, which is cool. You know, that's your accomplishments, but you're not supposed to put that above this truth. Not saying brothers do, I'm just talking about Jake in the world. You know, Jake lived for this world, but they don't know soon they might have to fight for their life in their damn living room in front of that giant 80-inch TV, you know, and it's going to be either you or him, and your wife, children going to be there watching. If you lose, your wife is now a spoil, and your children are now a spoil, as it said in for dang, where's that scripture? I used to always bring it out. Sheesh, Salak. Second Ezra is a very deep chapter. I forgot how it go. I think for captivity, shall they get women and children? It was something like that. Something like that. But yeah, you know. So if you get overthrown, your woman is now a spoil. And your children are spoiled for captivity. For that man, whether he want to kill them. Not just making this, but this is going to be a reality, bro. And ultimately, it's just the Lord dealing with you. You know, not saying I'm in the Lord going to have that happen to him. But I'm talking about these Jakes in the world that don't have that hedge of protection because they haven't been, you know, they haven't been serving the Lord. No, the Lord going to give them over to those type of situations. You know, us brothers that's been diligent, that's been doing what we were called to do. The Lord got better for us. Really, Jacob's trouble is 2/3 trouble. But that's what's, which we're going to go through things, but thing is, we got Yahweh Shai, man. We got Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Oh, this is the scripture. Oh, my God. Salakia. I'm right at the scripture I was looking for. 2nd Ezra 16:46. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. All right. So you're going to see in Jacob's trouble little gangs forming up. And they going around stealing and looting. Like, I always like to mention the scene in Black Summer. You had a woman and you had her daughter. And they was in the front seat. And the woman had a gun in her hand. And the daughter was in the passenger seat. So the mother was behind the wheel, the daughter was in the passenger seat, and then you had a man and this girl that he met along the way of trying to survive, which a prime example of Isaiah 4:1, because he was like pretty solid, he could handle himself. So they passed by and they saw the car and they was like, dang. And the mother, she was looking all like, if you come near this car, I'm going to shoot you. Then, a few scenes down the line, they end up going past that car again. and you had the mother, she was in the back seat, and the daughter, I think the daughter was gone, or whatever. Yeah, and then you had two men in the front, because basically they ran up in there and did what they did. Pretty much shows you that woman needs protection in that day, and only the men of the Lord is gonna have the hedge of protection. God, and it goes to show you how defenseless women are, because the mother, she literally had a gun in her hand, but whatever happened, one of them was missing. The daughter was missing, and then the mother was in the back seat looking scared and crying, and then you had two men in the front, one behind the driver seat and the other in the passenger seat. Or there might have just been one dude. I forgot exactly, but shoot, it just goes to show you these women, they're going to also be in very, very deep trouble. The wicked women, at least. But it says, and take their children captives, for in captivity and famine shall they get children. Let me edit on this. This is Amos 5:19. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? So these dark days is going to lead up to the Lord's return, and it's just going to be one chaotic event after the other. The day of the Lord is darkness, not light. All right, so this is why we do what we do, so we could be exempt from this, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. So, Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I'm going to say Shalom.